Now, the Daily Guide for today says NDC thugs, in red and quote, attacks NPP Zongo team. Cheddar makes inroads on constituency tour. Election 2024, you're safe with us. Please assures media. And Herbert Krapper is energy minister. So you saw this thing yesterday. The president says that having distinguished himself as Minister of State at the Ministry of Energy, he deems it only fit and proper to make him the substantive energy minister.
For that's a few weeks.
2 months.
A few weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Kozie Champions League unveils hidden talents. So the NPP's parliamentary candidate for, Adenta constituency organized, I think an inter-community football gala or so. And they say, so the story says Kozie's Champions League unveils hidden talents. I remember in 2013, there was this guy my father had, convinced to contest as a member of parliament at Wasa East. So he saw him again and he said, CCSA is your politics. Also, honorable, then, Chef has no introduction. No introduction. My name is politics. Honorable,
so there are times that they actually contest for real, but it's not because they know they can win.
No. What it means is that certain things don't really matter in the scheme of things. Certain things add to the buzz, but they don't really bring you votes.
Yeah.
So you do these things to add to the buzz. And so if you're introducing yourself to an electorate, you do these things. This is late in the day to be organizing these things.
Okay. So this is Adenta, right?
Yes, Adenta.
Okay. All right. In one lifetime, that is my constituency. Now, I have noticed that she's leveraged the media a lot. I think she's taken advantage of her own natural connections in the space to leverage the media to draw attention to pretty much any little thing she does. It's a good strategy, but Winston asked the question, will it convert into votes, right?
Yeah.
And I think this election will be a wonderful opportunity for us to examine things like that for constituencies like Adenta that are not shy to change their members of parliament pretty much every election if they have to.
Exactly. And that's the thing about Adenta, because in 2004 when the constituency was created, Opare Hammond of the NPP won. By 2008 he had lost to Eduasari. Now Eduasari loses the NDC primary to Ashimon, who becomes the NDC's candidate in 2012 and wins the seat. So even though the NDC maintains it, they have a different candidate.
Exactly.
Now in 2016, Ashimon also loses
the primary
to Ramadan, who then loses to Boabian Samuel.
Yes.
Then
NPP
Boabian
takes
Samuel
over.
and Ramadan do a part two.
Yeah.
And Ramadan wins. Now, Boabian Samuel, yes, now you know is with Movement for Change. But in the 2020 primary, Ramadan was challenged by Nano Yelitha. By 2023, the gap was about 26. A third person, Linda Awuni, pulled over 500 votes. Some have suggested that maybe if she didn't stand, Ramadan would have probably lost the primary. And so you would have had the chance of continuing with one term, because Ramadan doesn't even come back. So no matter who wins, it's just continuing with one term. Now, this is the challenge of Adenta. I won't say a lot. I will leave the rest for the 6th of December. But this is the challenge for Adenta. You have Ramadan, whose family is Ahmed Ramadan. And that family includes Abu Ramadan and Samira Baumia.
Yeah.
You have Muhammad Adamu Ramadan, who was presidential staffer under John Dramani Mahama. So in his family, you have PNC, and then you have NPP, and then you have NDC.
Yeah.
Now, in 2020, there were suggestions that Yabwa Benga Samoa was even starved of cash from his own party, the NPP. In fact, there were people who said, even Yabwa Benga, this is true, when they were tarring roads, they tarred the frontage of Ramadan, and Yabwa Benga's frontage was not tarred. Yabwa Benga said, because he's not partisan.
Sorry, under which administration?
This is all under
Akufo-Addo administration.
It's all under Akufo-Addo.
But this is where it gets...
Or should we say Akufo-Addo Baumia? So that
this is where it gets critical. because for somebody like Baumia, you don't know what may happen in 2024. In his own interests, it must be seen that the NPP went to the support of Akosua Menu, Kozie.
Yeah.
If she loses, it must never be said that she lost because she didn't get support. So in Baumia's own interest, he may want to do everything possible to get Akosua Menu elected. Otherwise, they will remind him if he doesn't win 2024. Anyway.
All right, let's get into the daily graphic. If you're
Don't
done,
worry.
are you?
I'm done for now. But 6th of December, when we do election eve into election 2024, we will look at the dynamics. We'll look at all the dynamics of Adenta, and we'll look at the areas that you should look out for when it comes to the electoral areas and where these guys are are likely to make their votes.
Hey, Charlie, that 6th night, the whole world, like Ghana around the world, will be tuned into Joy FM, Joy News. I mean, it'll be a crazy start to a marathon broadcast, which the whole country looks forward to every 4 years.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait.
After all, this is the election headquarters.
Absolutely.
Economy on recovery course, says President Akufo-Addo. Also, President appoints Herbert Krapa as Energy Minister. National Service Authority military to increase livestock production. Customs seizes firearms at Tema Port is a big story, also very worrying because we're so close to the elections now. First of all, I want us to say kudos to the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority because they did this. But what is disturbing, and these firearms were told came from the US, and this was a shipment that was supposed to contain vehicles and personal effects, and it turned out that they had these firearms hidden in them.
A lot of them.
Let me give you details. 53 pistols, 74 magazines, live rounds, and then I think there are more. Also 65 live rounds of ammunition concealed in suitcases. So details of what was found in this. And I want to believe that there are plenty more.
So this, if it came from the US, is it used weapons or is it new weapons that some dealer is trying to smuggle in to do his business without paying the right duty? You ask yourself, is this a national security issue in the sense of some organized group bringing these weapons in for their use?
Right.
Or is it a national security threat in the sense of one greedy businessman trying to bring his goods in, intending to sell them to whoever, not to one particular group or whatever, but to sell them as his business, but wanting to avoid, import
These
duty.
are critical questions that you're asking.
Yeah, I hope that their investigation will reveal all the personalities behind this.
Now, here's the thing. 2 people have been arrested, but Professor Kozie, who spoke on Newsnight yesterday, said that, and it's crucial, that these may be agents. So it's turning out to be like the Galamsey issue.
Right.
Let's find the real people behind this.
Behind the people.
See?
The real people are always not the people who are arrested in most of the cases. And look, let's be very honest with ourselves. In years past, we're having conversations about Alavanyo and Konya dispute. We've had conversations about the Boku conflict. Do you think that the guns in Boku are being imported into Boku by the indigenes of Boku, some of whom are struggling? No.
Some profiteer
So we know the people behind this. I said that in our part of the world, we just talk, we never act. Anyway, are you done? I could just do the new finder. Says GSE sponsors 10,000 climate action project for schools. 50-bed mother and child hospital brings modern healthcare to Upper East region. Bank Square vision of progress, according to President. Lords engineers for making iconic structure a reality. And EcoBank issues $400 million Eurobond to mark milestone.